Welcome to another episode of Words That Make You Go, Person. What is a person? Well, the word person, according to the Greeks, which is where the word came from, is a mask. The ancient Greeks wore masks on stage to act out certain roles in plays. So to the ancient Greeks, that was called a persona. A mask is a persona. So a mask is a person. They play a role. We literally call ourselves masks every day when we refer to each other. But what is a mask exactly? So when you look at what a mask is, it actually comes from the word mesh. It's a sieve, a net, like a net for catching fish, or a sieve for sifting and separating parts. Like you separate flour from particles in the flour, you use a sieve. A sieve or a mesh in history was used to separate. It's a separator. So what do we learn from this? A mask is a separator. A person is a separator. A mask separates you from everything, basically. It separates you from your true nature. That's what a mask does. It's a role. It's a separator. It's a mesh. It separates you from your true nature and from each other. If you're playing a role, if you're wearing a mask or a mesh, you're literally separating yourself from everyone that you come in contact with. Now, how is a net constructed? A net is constructed with string, and knots are used in the intersection points, the nodes that construct and hold this net together. A mesh is a crisscross of fibers from some sort of material and knotted together at the crisscross point. These knots is what actually makes the net work as a separator. But to a mask, to a persona, these knots are knots within the personality, within the consciousness. They're knots. What is the knots that construct the mask, that hold the mask together? These knots are actually aspects within a personality. More specifically, the knots are trauma, conditioning, culture, family, addiction, habits, attachments. Those are the knots. Deconstruct the mask. How do you deconstruct the mask? So you're no longer a separator and wearing a separator? You deconstruct the mask by unknotting those knots that hold the mask together, that hold the mesh together, that hold the separator together. When those knots are untied, the whole thing falls apart. What is the result? You know your true nature without the separator. You become complete. you become free, and you're no longer a separator. You don't want to be a separator, do you? Untie the knots of the mesh mask. No longer to be a persona, a person. Be your true self, the supreme self that underlies the separator, which is the mask you're wearing. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you at the next episode. Bye for now.